Evening, everybody. Welcome to the special meeting of council on Saturday, September 16th. Notices were sent to council members Troyer, Mancini, Powers, Scott, Burgio, McDonald, Salvatore, Council President Astorino, Mayor Coyne, Law Director Horvath, Finance Director Mr. Single. If we could get a roll call of council members, please.
Scott?
Here.
Bergio?
Here.
Salvatore?
Here.
Troyer? Powers? McDonald?
Here.
Mancini?
Here. Be it be known that Councilman Troyer, Councilwoman Powers, and Council President Astorino have been properly excused. Our council clerk's going to read a quick letter from one of our,
We have to do Pledge of Allegiance.
right after we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So
There you
if
go.
everybody would rise.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council clerk.
Council President Astorino asks that this be read into the record for today's
Mr. Chairman.
meeting.
Point of order. This is a special meeting. I don't think you can add something to an agenda.
Well, he asked that the letter
You're
be
gonna have to
read.
make a ruling on that, Mr. Chairman, because I don't think it can be added.
I'm gonna let her read it. I'm gonna let her read it.
For several years, the third Saturday of the month has been the mobile food pantry at the Redeemer Lutheran Church parking lot. I have been involved in this effort to provide food to people in need since the beginning. Additionally, there is a dog-cat vaccination clinic scheduled for this Saturday at the United Methodist Church. Since I helped organize that event, I need to attend that event also. Therefore, I will be unable to attend the special council meeting on September 16th. I am already committed to these other events that benefit our community.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
We're going to go next to audience participation pertaining to the 6 ordinances that we have that will be voted on second reading today. So if anybody would like to come up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tom Greenlee, 15841 Paulding Boulevard. First, if I could ask you a question, are the items that are listed on the agenda the actual items that are on today's meeting? No changes?
No changes in what way?
The ordinances that are listed are the ordinances that are on the meeting.
Yep.
I have a question about the 4 ordinances calling for special personal services. The first item, well, first of all of them, I wish someone would explain how the mayor has the authority to advertise for requests for proposals without an act of council giving him that authority. That's a legislative action that he has performed, and you do not have the authority to delegate that council power. Second of all, there were 7 respondents to the request, and eventually 2 of them came forward with a proposal, and then the mayor chose his own committee to determine which one of those 2 companies would be the one chosen to perform the duties. Then, as I understand, the committee chose the most expensive of the 2 with an inferior product to be the one that the city is going to be purchasing. So how this whole ludicrous series of events could take place on an action that should not have occurred to begin with, that's what you people are going to have to answer. But the mayor does not have on his own authority the right to go out and request proposals. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Greenie. That's it. We're going to move on to second reading of the ordinances and resolutions.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Salvatore?
audience participation obviously is ended, correct?
Yes.
All right, I would like to defer to the law director this evening as to the comments that were made to the validity of what was just mentioned, and is council acting within its rights.
Mr. Sackett, feel free.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, 'cause I know you just walked in. If you don't have the answer from the hip, I'll be more than glad to accept it in writing for next week.
Mr. Chairman, may I be heard?
I'll speak into the mic.
It's my understanding, having discussed the matter with the law director Thursday afternoon, that the issue raised by the individual in the out there was discussed between myself and her. We came to the conclusion that the mayor has the authority. Not only is it an item on the budget, but it's also a professional services contract, that the mayor does have the authority to enter into the contract. He has the authority to request bids. So I believe the council is appropriate to move forward on the second reading. Thank you.
So that's not only our elected law director's opinion, it's also your opinion.
That is mine as well, yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Salvatore. Thank you, Mr. Sackett, and we'll move on. Right. The first ordinance is an ordinance authorizing and approving the mayor to enter in a professional service contract with Pro On-Call for professional services and declaring an emergency. That would be 196, 2017. I read that for you.
That's okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mayor, go ahead.
thank you. I provided council with a memorandum today from the communications team. As we let council know at the last council meeting, there was a protest on why does this fade now? There was a protest on the proposals, and both of the finalists are challenging each other's proposal. So the administration is going to ask council to defeat this legislation. We're going to ask all those interested parties to resubmit new proposals on the phone system so that there's a fair and balanced equation and evaluation in making a submittal to council. So we're going to ask that that legislation be defeated today and allow everyone to resubmit new proposals for evaluation.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Council, what's your
Hopefully we'll
pleasure?
get a cheaper price.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman?
go ahead, Councilman Salvatore.
Never mind. I think I got all the answers I needed from what the law director said and the comments made by the mayor. I'm good with this.
Okay. Council, what's your pleasure? You want this canceled out, right?
Yeah, I think we have to defeat this legislation. We'll have new legislation, because again, one of the other submitters could be successful, so.
So I think in order to get it to a vote, we're gonna have to have a suspension, vote to suspend,
Then
Place, and we vote it down.
whatever procedurally you gotta do.
we don't have enough votes to suspend. So I don't think we could take it into consideration until the next meeting.
That's fine.
So I think it only has a second reading.
Suspend, you need 6.
Yeah, we need 6.
All right, that's fine, just so you know.
So ordinance number 10,096 has had his second reading. The second one will be ordinance number 10,098, 2017,
10,097.
or 10,097.
Introduced by Mayor Coyne, authorizing and approving the mayor to enter into personal services contract with Customized Phone Systems Incorporated for professional services and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Ordinance number 10,097 has had its second reading. We'll go to the third ordinance, ordinance number 10,098, 2017.
Introduced by Mayor Coyne, authorizing and approving the mayor to enter into personal services contract with Viasound for professional services and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 10,098, 2017 has had its second reading. On to ordinance number 4, 10,099, 2017.
Introduced by Mayor Coyne, authorizing and approving the mayor to enter into personal services contract with Building Technicians Corporation for professional services and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 10,099 has had its second reading. We'll go on to number 5, 11,000, 2017.
Introduced by Mayor Coyne, authorizing the consulting engineer to prepare plans and bid documents and the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the administration parking lot project and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 11,000, 2017 has had its second reading. We'll go to the sixth and final, 11,001, 2017.
Introduced by Mayor Coyne, authorizing the mayor to hire inspectors for the administration parking lot project and declaring an emergency.
11,001, 2017 has had its second reading. All these items will be placed on the agenda for a special meeting on September 26th. There's nothing else before this council. May I ask for motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Support. Motion's been made, supported. Roll.
Salvatore?
Yes.
Bergia?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Mancini?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Special meeting of September 16th is ended. Thank you all for coming.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Point of order.
Thank you for presiding over such a productive meeting today.
Anytime,
I
Mayor.
remove my clarification of point of order.
Everybody have a good day. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Yeah, it is.
2016, yeah.
For- And 17, 2017. We have a lot smoother meetings, the more we get done.
Come on up.